So when Heather was born, I did exactly with her what I had done with Pamanisha. So it's pretty much exactly the same. There wasn't any difference except Heather was learning faster. And with Pansy too, and she didn't have as many problems because we got her when she was younger, a baby. So, but I still feel like if I wasn't with her every day, that she might not be as nice. So she was an angel when I could be with her every day. But when she got up to about 3 years old, I no longer wanted, because Sue was constantly switching the groups, and I just kind of got to the point where I just, like, Pansy would get really upset when every day I'd have to see her and she'd be fine, but with, like, Pamanisha, I think I could be gone a year and walk back in. But with Pansy, I'd have to reestablish it every time, so I didn't want to do that. And usually I have one person with one ape and one with another, and I might be controlling both.
Sure.
But the other person didn't know that. No, but why?
No, I was wondering if you were equally involved in raising Pamanisha and Pansy, or did you spend this same kind of time with both of them? Pansy?
Yeah. It was
okay.
It's pretty equal.
Just the idea
Until Pansy
that
left at 4 years old. The idea was to raise them together and have them doing exactly the same things together at the same time, so that we could see the differences between them. So they were pretty much identically raised. The main problem was Pamanisha was born first to Matata. The idea was she would take Pansy too, but Pamanisha, who was only a month at the time, would push Pansy off Matata's other nipple. And Matata loved babies. She was crazy about babies. She would take care of any baby, but Pamanisha didn't like it. So we ended up taking Pamanisha out with Pansy, and then we would go and see Matata. So she was still integrated in everything, but she wasn't the one kind of in charge of both of them at that point. There was different people going in with them, because I couldn't be there all the time. But some people would go in with the two of them. Everything had to be the same. And then when Heather was born, I did everything the same with her. With Pamanisha and Pansy, I could actually put little cubes up on the counter and tell them to sit in the cubes, and I'd have bin of playthings for each one of them, and they would play with those things while I cleaned up. So I'd clean up like the whole place. It might take me an hour, but they would sit in their cubes while I did it together on the cabinet and play with their things. That was important to me because I could clean and do it. Cleaning can be a problem. You know, like, they know you're trying to clean. Sitting was a good form of discipline or whatever. Whenever something would go wrong, I didn't really punish them. I would just sit them in a chair and maybe pay extra attention to them and play with different things and talk about different toys that they had. And it wasn't really a punishment. It was more like a getting calmed down by sitting in a chair. And that really helped. That was the way I disciplined them, was by sitting in a chair and playing with toys. I don't think somebody could really hurt them by spanking them or whatever, but and so, and some people spank and they're just angry at their kids and they want their kids to mind, and that's kind of a little bit different than the ones that really hurt their kids when they're spanking them or really intend to hurt them. Because I'm not so sure if the parents are just doing it out of discipline really want to hurt them or strike them so hard that they end up in the hospital or something like that. Yeah, I think if you have a child, you don't want them to learn to hit. You want them to learn to talk their way out of it. And I know that's not always possible in our society. Humans do terrible things, terrible, violent things. And who's to say people think they're worse or they think they hurt somebody, but it's not always that way. I mean, with Pamanisha, I had her around at least 300 people without her getting hurt, without her hurting anybody. Not her getting hurt. She did not hurt anybody because I didn't want her to. I had a rule that she wasn't supposed to hurt anybody. But with other people, she might do that. And in the A Society, they would go ahead and they might hurt each other. So she had to live in there too. But she pretty much controlled. I think she controlled the group when we were in Des Moines, and she did it with nonviolence. She didn't hurt anybody.